All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Me here talking about real music in real time for a couple of real people out there, like literally two or three real people just like you and just like me. Um, really struggling out there when it comes to putting out videos and because people just aren't watching certain topics. Um, I really appreciate everybody who's here, but with subscriptions at 76,500 or something, and you get 800 views on a video. I get it. That one video I did yesterday, I swerved out of my lane. I was hoping a couple of people would see it and they might get what I was trying to do there, but apparently I'm just too much of a kook. So maybe you should watch my political channel, which is called Politically Homeless, if you want that type of content, stuff I don't do over here on the music channel. Now, Ricky Phillips has decided to quit Styx. It's kind of like smoking. He finally, after so many years, decided to give up the habit of Styx, and good for him. Before I get there, yes, my takes aren't like everyone else's, because I'm, a little bit different. I'm a little bit wacky. Before I talk about Ricky Phillips and Styx, Mecca and the band is, been around for quite some time. If you don't know about Mecca, Joe Vanna, he's fairly brilliant, and he writes and arranges and produces, and I think he got some musical DNA from the great Jim Peterick. So any guy who, hangs around with Jim and ends up being a little bit like Jim in his approach to things, that's really cool by me. All right. This is Mecca's latest album. It's called Everlasting. I hear there's another Mecca in the pipeline, or Joe is working on some other stuff. But if you haven't heard this, a little bit like Toto, a little bit like Survivor, maybe some Foreigner in there, maybe a smidge of Journey. It's the stuff I typically talk about here on the show. Again, Mecca's Everlasting. Check it out. Now, on to the Styx saga, which, Ricky Phillips, he's been around for quite some time. This guy has played with a lot of different people. You got John Parr, Belinda Carlisle, Bad English. People may recall he was a member of Bad English. So he's hung out with Jonathan Cain and Neil Sean. He's been in Styx for something like 20 years. And, when you leave Styx, you're probably never coming back to Styx. So let's just be truthful about that. You can ask Dennis DeYoung, and he's tried to come back, but it just hasn't worked out for him. Maybe this would be a good time to welcome Dennis back in, since you lost this very high-profile member of your band. I'll use any excuse to talk about Dennis DeYoung not being in Styx. Okay, so Ricky Phillips leaves. Great time for Dennis to come back. Now, this is what the Styx family said about Ricky Phillips. It was a joy to spend 2 decades with Ricky, and we wish him well and the best in his next adventure. He will always be a part of the Styx family, and we'll miss his presence on stage and in our touring lives. With all our love, the Styx family. Somebody wrote this, for whoever. This wasn't like Tommy Shaw or JY saying this. Styx has a concert coming up on March 22nd, which would be tonight in Wallingford, Connecticut. But the band has not yet announced who will replace Phillips. Meanwhile, Styx co-founder Chuck Panozzo continues to make part-time appearances with the band, although he has health challenges. So Ricky Phillips, who was a super good bass player and, right to the end, did his job, looked the part, and gave Styx a level of credibility by just being there. He's no longer in the band. This is what he had to say. He says, "I'm not retiring. just taking a break. So after 50 years, I waited 50 years to take a break. Presently, I've accepted an offer to co-produce a project in a studio close to my home. I've known since I was a kid that live performance is in my blood, so in time, I will post any future engagements or commitments. Sounds like he wants to do something other than hang out with Styx. But for right now, Melissa and I will share coffee talk and meals from home with our critters close by. Of course, I will always cherish the adventurous days recording and touring with Styx, and I will truly miss the wonderfully crazy and faithful Styx fans who show up despite the fact that Dennis DeYoung is not in the band. No, I'm sorry. Whose smiling faces I often saw more than my own family. He's basically saying, I'm sick of you people. I want to spend time with my family. Peace be with you all and happy trails, Ricky. So this is just the case of another musician who I think is kind of had it with the road. He says, I am taking a break from the road. And, he's been at it for 50 years. So the guy needs a break from the road. Will he come back to the road? Maybe. Maybe he'll show up with someone else. It's interesting because he would have been a great candidate to replace Ross Valerie in Journey. And the reason there being is both Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain had a connection with Ricky Phillips because Ricky, he was in the Babies, and Dean Castronovo as well. So that would have been like a Babies reunion. All you need is John Waite at that point. It would have been awesome. But, they went with Todd Jensen instead. So Todd, of course, was Neil's buddy in the band Hardline. So there are all these musical connections. People, they don't have Rolodexes anymore, but they have, all the information stored on their phone. I'm sure Styx will replace Ricky with somebody because the show must go on. And again, another opportunity to maybe bring Dennis DeYoung back, to bring new life, to revitalize the Styx brand, at least for a few months this summer. Maybe do the first of several farewell tours. You bring Dennis in for the first one because that would be the best one. And then you keep saying farewell because that's what bands are doing. Say farewell, but don't actually say goodbye. I mean, look what Foreigner is up to these days. And they've got another singer who can sing almost better than Kelly Hansen. So just bizarre stuff going on in the world of classic rock as it continues to rebrand and then, kind of bait and switch a little bit here and there. In the case of Styx, they're just not the same band without Dennis. I'm sorry. I've been patient. I think Dennis has been patient. Dennis apparently doesn't want to talk to me, which is cool. I understand, because I'm Mr. Toxic, and I'm opinionated on certain things. I'm talking about things. And then as soon as you associate with me, then you become the guy that talked to that guy who isn't always Mr. Happy. Now, there are plenty of people on YouTube or wherever who will, just play the game and say happy, nice things about everything, and they'll get the interviews. So, I didn't plan it that way. It just happened because I get bored very easily and I tend to be critical. Maybe I should just love everything. Everything is roses and butterflies and rainbows and unicorns. This album is actually rainbows and unicorns and all that other stuff I said, which I just forgot. This is Mecca and their album Everlasting. Holy crap, Batman. It's Joe Vanna. Doesn't Joe Vanna sound like a superhero? It's Joe Vanna. It's one word. Joe Vanna. All right. No, I have not been drinking. It's early in the morning where I am right now. So anyway, check this out. Mecca. It's great. Foreigner, Toto, a little bit of Styx maybe. Maybe if you put on some Mecca, you'll forget about the fact that Dennis DeYoung is still not in the band Styx.